I'm getting so tired. I'm getting so.
Y'all know what's going on. It's time for another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and welcome to the show, y'all. Look here, Fred is back home. Quita spent the night with Chris, right? It's part of the move, y'all. Ain't no heart in this, ain't no emotion in this. You understand? A lot of y'all don't understand the game. But see, when you young like Chris, and you not mature, especially to the level that Quita is, and there's people out there like that, y'all, that do whatever they need to do to get what it is they want. Watch that. Pay attention to that. More importantly, let me say this too before I get all the way back to the story. If you already thinking like that, trust me, pay attention to this whole episode, this whole show, because you need to know how this thing plays out mentally. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't gonna drop too much on you. You're gonna have to listen to the show to really get involved and know what's going on. But look here, Quita getting the game up to Fred, and Fred is loving it, right? He laying next to her in the bed, you know what I'm saying, because he's tired. He ain't been nowhere. He just been staying at the hotel to give them time. You feel what I'm saying? And working on some things, but he couldn't really sleep. It's hard for him to get a good night's sleep when he's not laying next to Quita. You feel me? This his gal. But see, think about that. Think about that. He has a hard time sleeping when he's not next to her, but he ain't got no hard time, no problem at all with her laying with another man. Think about how you got to compartmentalize all of that. You feel what I'm saying? Some people call that big pimping. You feel what I'm saying? Some people call that gangster, right? Huh. Let me know what you think about that in the comment section. But here's the thing. Check this out. Look. He laying next to her in the bed and she's giving him the rundown on how she done played him, right? Because he taught her well. And she said she thinks she got it, but it's going to take some time. You know, Fred ain't tripping. It's going to take maybe a couple of more months to lock him all the way down. See, think about it. He already talking about getting her to move out. Chris ready for her to move all the way out. It's one night together. One night together. And he already, like he really putting it down like that. You understand what I'm saying? Listen to me. Let me tell y'all something, man. I think y'all need to understand this. Ain't nobody putting it down like that unless the woman is into you anyway. If she into you, and look, I need some of y'all women to testify to this for me. Testify to this for me. If you into a dude, right? If you already into them, tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 in the comment sections how good they really, really, really have to be for you to stay. I would bet, listen to me, I would bet that most of them ain't gonna be a 7. Ain't gonna be a 7. Because when you really like somebody, it's more than physical. But anyway, let's get back to the story. Y'all hit me up in the comment section about that too, right? Because it's always somebody, you know what I'm saying, that got something to say about that kind of stuff. So y'all hit me up and keep it clean. You know, I ain't trying to mess my thing up now. Keep it clean, okay? But look, check this out. Check this out. Wow. Fred is getting the rundown and all this, and he said, look, okay, we're going to take a couple of more months and hit him here and there, whatever the case may be. But in the meantime, in between time, Fred going to continue to try to find out who this plug is. He trying to figure out how much he going to be able to get. Because if he find that the dude that's supplying Chris is still a small-time player, then they got to keep pushing and move on up. They got to find out somebody, you know what I'm saying, that got that paper, that's really making moves. You understand? That's really making moves. So Chris, he let it slip one day that his partner JJ is who he gets it from. So Fred, being the smooth dude that he is, when Chris ain't around, he starts asking questions about this guy named JJ. And people always want to talk about somebody else's business, like bragging on them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about in the street stuff. Now think about that. Think about that. That's another scratch in the game. You got people that want to tell somebody else's business. Oh yeah, dude got that bag. He doing this and he doing that. Well, what if you're talking to the police? Huh? But anyway, look, you can't control how people are. They like talking about people, you know what I'm saying, and letting people know other people's business. So Fred find out who JJ is. He ain't really got nothing locked in with Chris that he can't venture out and try to make things better, you know? Chris ain't really said nothing to JJ about Fred at all. So after about another couple of weeks, Fred find out who JJ is. Now, and there's more people in the neighborhood that's willing to talk about how JJ is doing it. Turns out JJ ain't got it like that either. He needs to find somebody that's got them bricks. He needs to find somebody, man, that's got them duffel bags full. Other than that, what's the point? What's the point? So Chris still thinking he sneaking and laying up with Quita and doing his thing and constantly, you know what I'm saying, dipping and dodging. And now he's not coming around as much as he used to when Fred is there. He wants to avoid him because a little bit his conscience is messing with him a little bit. Fred ain't been nothing but good to him, so he's feeling negative and bad about what he's doing, and now he don't want to be around him as much. He's still making money with him, but he's trying to get Quita to move out. He putting pressure on him, telling him that you ain't got to stay with him and all this and that, calling him old and everything. You understand what I'm saying? Making Quita feel some kind of way about the situation, right? At least that's what he thinks. At least that's what he thinks. She gets all emotional when he talks about it, telling him, you know, I love him and I care about Fred and but I want to be with you and all this and that. And oh my God, he's eating it up. He's eating it up, y'all. He's eating it up. And at the same time, Fred is still digging. Now, Quita, she got to do something. Chris done got too involved. He done got too involved. So now, you remember when I was telling y'all in the last episode about all the people that's running around, you know what I'm saying, running their mouth about other people's business? Well, you know, the first night when Chris was leaving, or the first morning after, you know what I'm saying, that Friday when Chris was leaving, you had different neighbors, particularly females. They saw Chris leaving, and they were more than willing. They were more than willing to tell Fred what was going on and trying to tell him that Quita ain't no good. They were more than willing to do that. They were more than willing. And he's listening to this and listening to that, and see, that plays to his advantage. Because when Quita said she was sick of Chris and she was tired of him and ready for him to get on out the picture, see, Fred used that as an excuse to come home to get to argue with Chris, because Chris is at the house. And he comes in and he tells Chris he wants to talk to him. So they go in the kitchen. See, Fred pulled an old man move on him, right? He pulled out that bottle, a couple of shot glasses, and set them on the table. And he tells him, he said, look, the main thing about friendship is that you trust each other. Chris sitting there looking at him. He pretty much can feel that something's off here. You know, and Quita, she's at the sink washing dishes. You know what I'm saying? The whole scene is set up. So he pours Chris a drink and he said, look, he said, I want to ask you something. He said, I need you to be honest with me. Be honest with me. All the way honest. Chris said, I will. He said, do you respect me? Chris said, yeah, I respect you. So Fred went right in, smacked him. He said, then what you doing messing with my woman? Chris caught off guard. He went to grab for his gun. But Fred already got his out. Already got it out. And he tell him, he said, look here, let me tell you something. He said, every time you done slept with her, you owe me. Now, Quita turned around and said, stop. What are you talking about? Ain't nobody been messing with him. All that old kind of stuff, right? Fred hit her. Everybody know in the neighborhood. They done told me when you came up out of here that Saturday morning. They done told me when you were trying to creep out the window when I was coming home. They done told me everything. I know y'all been messing around. And you gonna pay me for every time you done slept with my woman. Then he turned on Quita. You got a problem with it? She meek and humble. She said, no. And then Fred hit her. I said, well, what you do it for? What's going on? Look here. Let me tell you how she played. She said, I just needed somebody to know how to do it. You been around here slacking. You ain't been around. You don't spend time with me like you used to. You always want to be out chasing money. Now, Chris sitting on the side. Listen to me. I want y'all to get the picture of this. Chris sitting on the side. He don't know if he need to be scared or glad because he's liking what she's saying. He still don't know he's being played like a funky piano. He's liking what she's saying because he feel like even if he has to go, he might still have a chance for it, and that's important. It's important to the game, y'all. So listen to me. Chris get up. Fred said, empty your pockets. He went in his pockets. He got dope and money. He said, look here, we're going to have a problem, man. Chris said, no, we ain't going to have no problem, Fred. We good, man. He said, I respect it. He said, man, get up out of here, man. I don't want to see you no more, man. If I see you around my house or my gal again, you know what it is, man. Now, see, Fred knew how to play him because Chris ain't got that in it. So you got to be careful. You got to be able to size people up and know what they will and won't do. See, Chris getting money, right? He liked to buy the clothes and the jewelry and have the women and all this and that. He ain't in it for the rah-rah. He ain't in it for that. He'll let it go before all that happens. You can have all that because he'll get all that back. He never kept everything that he had on him anyway. So they get a few thousand out of it, you know what I'm saying, 1.5 ounces of some of that thing, you know what I mean, and all this and that. And now he's straight. And an extra pistol because he took the pistol off of him. So now he gone. Fred's still running things at the house, you know what I'm saying. He got, you know what I'm saying, his little plug on the side with JJ and all this and that. Now, JJ don't care who getting it from him. He ain't got nothing to do with that. But Fred got everything still moving. He got everything still grooving. And Quita, she right along with him. She played her role to perfection. She made Chris still believe that it was a chance. You know what I'm saying? So he would sneak around. And act like, you know, you ain't got to stay with him. Come stay with me, this, that, and the third. She played her role. She needed him to understand that, you know, it ain't that easy. I can't get away from him like that. But see, Chris ain't the one that's built like that. That'll come and do something to Fred. Plus, Fred ain't playing about that. He'll pull that trigger quick because he really shake it too. So he'll pull that trigger. Without hesitation, he'll pull that trigger. So now check this out. So now he kicking it with JJ. Everything going good. JJ, one of them dudes, he ain't messed up with it if you trying to move up. So he asked him, man, how can I get some major weight? Now, Fred started to get some credibility in the project because he been doing his thing for a few months now, and then people starting to hear about, you know what I'm saying, what he did to Chris. Chris don't care nothing about that. He's still getting his money. Everybody in the area already know Chris wasn't built that way anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's done this before, messed with other dudes, girls, and then he get ran off and all that, and he moves on to the next one. No bigger than him. No bigger. This is part of his reputation. You understand what I'm saying? See, JJ tell Fred about Ron. Ron got that bag. But see, Ron, he a different breed, y'all. Ron, like, he real street. And he a little older, you know what I'm saying? He about Fred age. He in his 30s, you know what I'm saying? Middle 30s. And he been doing it for a while. He done had him a couple of runs in the penitentiary and everything. He's not the type to be played with. He not that type. But see, Ron, like a lot of dope boys, he love him a pretty woman. Woo! Man, let me tell you, he love him a pretty woman. Now see, that's the thing about a lot of dudes, man, in the streets, y'all. That's the thing. These dope boys don't care nothing about, you know what I'm saying, situations. As long as they, in most situations, they get them some and they get on down. Right? They ain't really just trying to be with them. They would rather have them, you know what I'm saying, on the side and don't want nobody else to be with them because that plays into their reputation and how they feel about themselves too, right? They might not want to be with them, but they don't want nobody else to have them. You see what I'm saying? They always trying to scoop. That's kind of like getting notches in your belt. You understand what I'm saying? How many females you got, how many kids you got, and all this and that, who you done took such female from and all this and that. All of that is part of the lunacy in the game, right? So listen to me. Fred put her on him. He ain't even met Ron yet. He just hearing the business. You feel me? But see, Quita's reputation is starting to spread around the neighborhood too. People hearing how she did Fred and all this and that, and now they working on it. You understand? So the streets talk. And when I tell you She looked like Lisa Ray. She bad, y'all. She bad. She bad. And she like to wear them booty shorts, y'all. You would think that somebody, you know what I'm saying, gonna wear them booty shorts around the house for her man. Now, when she on the business, she wearing them booty shorts to the store and everything. Look here. Look like she ready to go play some volleyball. Y'all get that in your head. Okay, here we go. So she see Ron. She know her target. She know what he look like. She know what he on. Know what kind of car he drive and all this and that, right? So she started swinging it. I'm talking about swinging it when she walked past his car. He at the stoplight. He rolled the window down. He said, mommy, what up, what up? She look over there at him. She said, I got a man. Straight at him. I got a man. So the light turned green and he rolled real slow past her, right? You know what I'm saying? He said, look, I don't care nothing about you having no man. He said, I got 2 or 3 women. What that mean? He said, man, let's take a ride together. She said, I ain't gonna worry about that. I'm walking, I'm good, and go on about your business. He said, I'll get back at you another time, right? He said, they call me Ron, girl. She looked over there at him. He said, what they call you? She looked at him. She fell right into it, or so he thought. She said, my name Quita. Oh, okay, Quita and Ron. All right. Sound good to me. She said, whatever, boy. Then he pull on off, gone about his business. The trap has been set. The trap has been set. So now she get back home, she tell Fred how everything went and all this and that, right? Because it's been a couple of days in the making before she was able to pull this off, right? But he sees her. He knows what she looks like. He likes her. He's at her. He wants it. Now the game it's got to be played. The game has got to be played. So Fred is still making moves and all this and that. Him and JJ taking care of business and all this and that. Now, Quita, she taking that same route every day. Pretty much at the same time, going back and forth to the store. She ain't got to walk. They got a car. But he need her on display. Just like a mannequin in the store in the window. Got to put her on display. Let them see it. Now, some of the other dope boys, they talking. They see her. They know she fast. Because they all heard about Chris. That's intentional, though. Game recognized game. Throw that hook out there. And this is one thing that happens in the streets with them dope boys, right? Who gonna get her first? You feel me? See, Chris ain't even in the calculus. Because he ain't even on that level. I'm talking about the ones that got real money, real cake. You understand what I'm saying? Brick for brick. You feel me? Them type dudes. Who gonna get her first? And boy, look here. When she's on display, she's on display. But the whole time, she thinking about Fred. She love her some Fred. Love her some Fred. She just don't know how to love him. So she love him the best way she can. The way he wants her to. The way he wants her to. So now she out there. She out there. After about another couple of weeks, Ron pull up on her again. This time, he speeds up and go get past her while she's walking, stop the car, get out, and wait on her to walk towards him. When she gets up on him, he said, look, open the car door. Go on and get in. Let's take a ride. Let me see what you working with. You know? She don't even say nothing. She get right in the car. She get in the car, he jump in. They roll and they pull off. Got that music blasting, bass booming. Bass booming. He think he got her. They having small talk, this and that or whatever. And she said, look, just drop me off at the store. I need to get a few things. He said, I got you. They get to the store. He go in with her. He walk the aisles with her. He picking up stuff for her. Fill up the bag. They get to the cash register. He pay for it. They get back in the car. When they get back in the car, he really putting it down. Now he said, look, you see I mess with you? Mess with me. Why don't you mess with me? She said, you think this is what I'm worth, a bag of groceries? She said, I don't mess with people like you. A bag of groceries is what you think you can get with me for? He said, no, I ain't thinking like that. Then she said, what are you thinking then? What you think this gonna be? And if y'all want to know what this gonna be, you're gonna have to tune in to the next episode, right? Because it's gonna get better. This has been another episode of Doing Time with Joe. I'm your host, Joe Baker, and I say peace, y'all.
I'm getting